Okay, so getting started on this project, my plan is to just remove a little bit of the bottom paint so I can see what's happening with the cracks below the bottom paint, because they don't always show through, and sometimes you can see more problem areas as you get into it. So I'm going to start with these fine cracks along here and work my way up to the heavier crack up there. And just basically I'm going to remove bottom paint to start with. Now you want to be careful. Bottom paint is really toxic. After all, it's designed to ward off underwater growth, little marine organisms. So it's not good for your organism either. So make sure you've got good gloves. We've got a good face shield to protect my eyes and face. And of course, a quality respirator. Now, I don't recommend using just a plain dust mask for bottom paint. Too much of it will get through. You want to make sure that your lungs are really protected from the toxicity of the paint. All right, let's get started. First thing I need to do is remove anything on the bottom of the boat that's going to be in my way. For this boat, that means this scoop for the through hull fitting. Now the through hull fitting is awfully close to where I need to grind out here. And in the end, I may have to remove the through hull fitting itself. But for now, let's just start with the scoop. Well, looks like that kind of needed cleaning out anyhow, so that needed to be done either way.
I get started using my Makita angle drill with a 4-inch roll-lock disc on it. This way I can start to open up the area a little bit at a time without slinging dust all over the place. The drill runs at a slower RPM, so the dust mostly falls straight to the ground where I can clean it up fairly easily. It also allows me to get a good look at exactly what's happening just underneath the paint and allow me to follow where the crack goes. I chase down each one of these hairline cracks all around the keel, finding out just how deep they go. Most appear to be simply hairline cracks within a heavy layer of fairing compound, and are not any structural issue to worry about. That said, they're still going to need some attention. As I get back onto the hull, just after the keel, I find out we do have some structural damage. Some of the fiberglass has been compressed by the keel pushing up, and this has caused some delamination within the layers. It's not a large area, but it's going to take some careful inspection and grinding out to get to where the glass is still in good condition. We'll also need to inspect this area carefully on the inside of the boat. After having ground down the hairline cracks along the top of the keel, I determined that these areas were not serious. It was mostly delamination between the fiberglass and the lead itself in the keel. This should be a relatively easy repair by injecting epoxy into these voids to reseal the glass to the lead. The two larger areas are the fiberglass damage at the aft end of the keel and the damage to the lead on the front of the keel, with a couple of smaller projects including the damage to the aft edges of the fins on the keel and some slight rudder damage. It takes a bit of patience and effort to make sure that I've gotten through all of the bad glass and into areas where the glass is still solid. Fortunately, this area is not very wide all around and should be relatively easy to reglass. It's not a pleasant job working upside down and having the fiberglass dust flying in your face. However, with a little bit of patience and effort, I am soon into good solid glass. With the cracked and delaminated fiberglass ground out, it is time to start thinking about replacing the glass. But before I get started on that, I want to go ahead and inject the voided areas in the sides of the keel with epoxy. This way, if I have to do any more glassing, I can do all the glassing at once. Gently tapping, I find the suspected void areas and drill a small hole in the center of those areas in which I can use a plastic syringe to inject the epoxy. Now that I've got all the keel voids filled, it's time to get on with some serious glass work. I'll start by glassing the hull at the back of the keel and finish up with fixing the damaged area on the aft edge of the keel wings. Once that's complete, we'll get started on the repair on the forward edge of the keel, cutting out the damaged lead and putting in a new piece. With this area fully ground out and the bad glass removed, it's time to start putting in some new glass. As I'm working upside down, it makes sense to only do 3 layers at a time. This way the glass won't get so heavy that it simply falls out of the repair. Also, I don't like to go much thicker than that because of heat buildup and shrinkage in the glass. So we'll do this in 2 or 3 different stages. I'll start by putting the smaller pieces of glass in first, with each layer being a little bit wider and larger than the last. While allowing each layer of the glass in the hull repair to fully cure, I'll get started on repairing the aft edge of the wings on the keel and doing some fairing where I made the repairs along the keel top. With fiberglass repairs under control and finishing up, it's time to move on to the damage on the front of the keel. I've cut out the area of damage and made a flat spot on that part of the keel, which unfortunately I neglected to get any photos of. After making this cutout, I replace the metal that has been removed by epoxying and mechanically fastening a new piece of lead to replace the damaged lead that has been removed. I will then cut and fair this piece of lead into the keel. Although a little bit more work and effort than simply trying to refair the keel with putty, this is a much better repair and will be more solid. Simply filling this damaged area in with putty would have resulted in a substandard repair in my opinion, and a repair doomed to failure. Shaping the new metal to match the existing keel actually proved to be quite easy using a sawzall with a limb trimming blade on it. The blade stayed sharp and it cut the lead fairly quickly. Final shaping and fairing was done with a side grinder. Just remember, anytime you are working with lead, be sure to wear gloves and wear a respirator, as lead can be poisonous. With the big repairs under control, I finish up with some final fairing and some final touching up on some minor repairs needed. Once the fairing has been completed, I finish up by putting on a coat of gel coat to protect the fairing, and then a epoxy barrier coat, Interlux 2000, to protect the gel coat and all of the repairs. The next step is to move to the inside of the boat and get started on the repairs in there. But first, I think I'm going to go ahead and launch the boat. It will make working on it much easier, and I can run the air conditioning and stay comfortable. So in part 3 of this video series, we'll cover the interior repairs and final detailing of the boat, getting it ready to sell.